All right, our last correspondent, ROTIMI KADE, he joins us now from the U.S. Let's deepen this discussion concerning the U.S. debate between Donald Trump, the president, and of course his challenger. So ROTIMI, glad to have you join us. How would you compare last night's debate with the first debate, which descended into what one could call chaos?
Well, last night's debate was pretty much decent compared to the first one. And perhaps a lot of people were saying that the instructions by the presidential council that there's going to be a mute button and each candidate will have a minimum of about 2 minutes to make their point, and afterwards they'll be muted. Kind of constrained the candidates to be a little bit more decent in their approach, and each of them were able to make their points very, very quickly. There were a few interruptions here and there, but it can never be compared to what we saw in the first debate. And a lot of people have commended both candidates, even the president. He deployed a new style yesterday, unlike his usual self, a little bit more aggressive. But yesterday was able to score some points against Joe Biden in so many aspects, especially when it comes to the economy. Both candidates were not able to come out with a clear direction on how they want to take what steps they want to take in ensuring that the country not only get out of the pandemic currently, but also make sure that the economy is come back much stronger.
And ROTIMI, the coronavirus took center stage. The president has been heavily criticized for his handling of the pandemic. Do you think that the president was able to convince viewers he has a control on COVID-19?
Well, I think the president was not very clear about what his plans are for the pandemic. And I think he's been making the same rhetoric for the past few weeks that they are turning the corner on the coronavirus. Even said that before elections that there would be vaccines there. But of course, the many companies that have been on the issue of vaccines said it's practically impossible for them to actually come up with a vaccine before November 3rd. Which, some analysts said that the president's trying to put some sort of political pressure. We now know that it's practically impossible for that to happen before Election Day. The president said yesterday that perhaps maybe before the end of the year that there could be vaccines, but the scientists are saying that the best bet they could give would be that maybe the first quarter of next year. But Joe Biden obviously also did not even present a much, much better, robust option for the American public, except what the CDC guidelines actually said: wear a mask, social distance, and of course make sure that you do all the necessary things, making sure you wash your hands and all of that. So apart from that, both candidates were sitting on the fence regarding, coronavirus and how the American lives should be even after the elections.
All right, ROTIMI, 11 days away from the elections. What is the state of the race? And will last night have any impact whatsoever on the rest of the campaign?
Well, from all the analysis that we've seen yesterday and some of the polls that came out very early this morning, nothing more has changed. 47 million Americans have already voted, and many of them will vote in the coming days. Nothing much has changed because a lot of people have already taken sides with each of the candidates. What would change would be that some of the swing states like Wisconsin, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and perhaps Florida would be the magic. Red states still remain red, blue states still remain blue. And, the debate yesterday is just like an icing on the cake. We definitely will not see much. Not much has shifted, but what we currently see right now is that Joe Biden is still maintaining his lead in the general polls. But remember, by this time last 2016, Hillary Clinton was actually leading by double digits. So the Democrats are actually not going to sleep with the lead. What they are trying to do right now is to see, in practical terms, whether this can actually translate into electoral victory for them. And that's the reason why they're deploying former President Barack Obama to Miami this weekend, and some other Democratic warlords to help Joe Biden present his case better to the American people. There are so many critical issues that a lot of undecided voters are still battling with, whether they can trust Joe Biden better. But the advantage that the president has been on the economy. And a lot of people are more concerned about the economy because right now, because of COVID-19, things are really down. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are on furlough, and they don't know what next. But they can trust the president more on the economy than any other issue. So Joe Biden will need to come out forcefully to present a better alternative economic model that a lot of people can trust and said, well, if we vote for Joe Biden, this will be a lot better than our life will be a lot better than it is right now.
Rotimi, it is amazing what the threat of a mute button can do. We rarely saw that button used yesterday, but it was a more conducive atmosphere we saw. Did you think that was the magic that worked yesterday?
Well, in fact, to start with, the mute button was to be used in the opening statement, and afterwards, the commission actually said the mute button will not be enforced. But that actually restrained the candidates to, be a little bit less, more vociferous as they were in the first debate. But I think it did a lot of magic, and a lot of people were a little bit more comfortable with the way the debate actually went yesterday, unlike the first one that was a total shipwreck. A lot of people were not,
in sync with what they were discussing.
Yes.
All right.
Perhaps I should get one of those mute buttons. I might try it on you, Indy.
Why?
Just saying.
Excuse me, I'm not strong. That I might buy. Thank you, Rotimi, KADE.
Imagine what some parents can do with the threat of a mute button.
Just like you said, what the threat of a mute button can do. All right.
Thank you.
Rotimi, KADE there, our correspondent in America.